What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com and, of course, WCR Nation. And I'm here with the one and only Mr. Steve Zero. How are you?
Good. It's my first time back in a while.
I was just going to say, man, everybody missed you. You were gone for 1 week and it felt like 3 years.
Oh man, no, it's so nice of you to say. I don't know, but it was a nice little break, and then yeah. So
what happened?
Good.
Anything important while you were gone?
Oh, got married, went on vacation.
What's so bummer now that you're married and you're off the market? Mike Nichols, Eddie Stewart, like they have just not been around. They took it really, really hard.
Good. Good.
And
yeah.
You're
too old for me.
You're gone now. You're off the market. Steve is still, he's still willing to flirt with either Eddie Stewart or Mike Nichols. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, anytime.
By the way, also, if you guys didn't know, Steve and I do a full hour-long chat every other Monday on Steve's channel. If you haven't checked it out, go to YouTube, search Steve-O, the window cleaner. Make sure to subscribe. And actually, this upcoming Monday, the 6th, is going to be our first week back in a couple.
Yes.
And it's pretty exciting.
And we'll be back on at 7:30 Eastern.
7:30 Eastern, yeah.
Good with that?
Yeah. We'll see when 7:30. No, I really, really like the Mondays, man. The Mondays are really good. We have consistently 60+ people in there watching at any one time. Comments are going crazy. It's a really lot of fun. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and subscribe. Steve-O has almost hit the 30,000 subscriber mark. If not, did you hit it yet or not yet?
No, like 500 away. It's like the first one I've been kind of excited about in quite some years. As far as 30,000 is kind of cool.
That's big.
Now with TikTok these days, everyone has like 100,000 followers. So I don't know if it really matters anymore.
Not everyone. Apparently, TikTok hates me, and I have not had a new TikTok follower in literally like 2 months. I put out content every day.
Apparently, they changed the algorithm, so that's what I've heard, and so it makes it a little bit harder to get famous.
I don't want to be famous. I just want a couple people to like me. That's all.
People like you. It's okay. You'll be all right.
What's up to John Duty, by the way? Hey now, what's going on? Simple Mind is here, of course. What's going on, man? And Jeremy Pummel, what's up? Happy Dad.
I tell you what, it doesn't taste good though. I got this hoodie a long time ago, and I got super excited one day. Alex came on, she goes, Happy Dad was at the local liquor store. I said, why did you get some? So I went back, got some. It tastes like an armpit. It was horrible, but I'm not a fan of like anything seltzer. So I thought it would be like good, but yeah, wasn't impressed. Not my thing.
Well, there's a happy endorsement for you. If you haven't tried Happy Dad, if you love the taste of armpits, you can get yourself a White Castle burger and a Happy Dad seltzer, and boom,
be complete. It'll be good to go.
We're gonna get a cease and assist now for this. Anyway, if you're here watching, go ahead and tell us in the comments, whatever platform you're watching on, Facebook or YouTube, what is your dream system? Like, it doesn't have to be window cleaning. It can be. But I want to know, what your truck, trailer, gear, system, poles. I know people like Jeremy have pretty much everything out there. So he probably already has his dream system. But what do you guys want? What is absolutely amazing, and what do you want to have in your arsenal this year? For Steve, like, you've done so many gear reviews. What is your all-time favorite? Like, if you could just, money wasn't an option, pick the best system for everyday use, what would you do?
I would honestly, I've always wanted to do a mounted system in my vehicle, but I've never done it because I don't have an actual inside area where I could park it. And I didn't want something I'd have to uninstall in the winter and reinstall in the spring and have it in there. So if I honestly could, something like a fill and go, or just having an actual delivery system, that's what I would like. Or I think one of my dream systems to always have would be something like the Zero Triple or the Hydro Station that could push that 3 to 4 gallon mark. Would just be really, really nice. It's just, I don't need it.
Yeah, I know. It's IPC Hydrocart has a 2X electric, which will do 4 gallons a minute. Now it's a pump, but 4 gallons a minute. It's so much water that you can't, if you're running one pole, it's not usable. It's so much, you have to open a valve to let water out. It puts out so much water. So there is kind of that happy medium of if you want to run 8 poles, you could do that, right?
Right.
But it's kind of like, where are you on there? And the fill and go is pretty rad, except for like you're tethered to the truck. You're like,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, and you only got like 50 gallons of water there. I mean, you can refill throughout your day, but something like that, I think, really on the traditional tool market, I don't know of really anything new that's come out really this winter that's like, oh my gosh, need it for spring, need it for when it gets
Yeah.
busy.
You know what it is? I really, 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 really like is the plus systems of the Max. Well, the Max is still my favorite by far, unpowered system. By the way, what's up to Johnny B? By the way, the king of puns. By the way, but I really, really like the Max, and I really like that there's a plus system now. If you guys don't know, the plus system basically it adds a chloramine filter, which chloramine is like the bane of our existence right now because states are starting to use it, but it's so widespread or so uncommon, and
Yeah.
they just drop them in. No one's telling anybody, and we just didn't like a lot of the window cleaning RODI manufacturers didn't even know it was existing. They just like ROs were failing super fast. We're like, what the heck? Anyway, it ended up being chloramines, but it also has twice the resin. So you're running a quarter cube of resin in the plus systems, which I think is really, really good. A lot of people are still like reaching for that zero mark. And if you have a smaller resin tank and you're running higher TDS, it's really hard to get zero. You don't need zero. You need close to, but that extra resin kind of puts it off there. So I really like the Max systems.
Yeah. Also makes it, so you don't have to change out your resin as often. That's helpful. But yeah, like you mentioned, the chloramine thing has really come up a lot in this past year. And it really can ruin systems quick. So having that benefit of having that extra protection in the system, or you could even do that for any of the other systems as well. And you can just add the chloramine filter as a carbon pre-filter as well, because it will block against the both of those, the chloramine and chlorine.
Yeah, still doing 5 microns, still nothing changes, still chlorine embedded, all that stuff. So, one thing Jeremy just mentioned is he wants ER to put a boom lift in so he doesn't need to rent as much. Dude, when I sold my company, literally like the 2 months before that, I was like searching lifts and literally on the edge of buying one. And I just didn't put my deposit down on this new lift. It was just a toe behind. It wasn't anything fancy, but I'm like, it's time, man, just to have it, Christmas lights with the toe behind. Toe behinds are a little restricted, but this was one of those. I think it was a Nifty, if I remember, but it was like a toe behind that could drive too.
Oh wow, that's
sweet.
Nice.
It was sweet.
Yeah, that is a really good. Like if you can get a boom lift and you have that accessible to you 24/7, that is pretty premium. I think what Mark Tanner. I know a few other companies that have, but they're all huge companies.
Yeah,
huge.
I know a guy in Wisconsin who was a dealer for a while, but he had 3 of the spider lifts. I always pronounce it wrong. Topin, Tuepin, Topin, whatever. The spider lifts, the ones that are like 85 feet and they can go through a single door. Like they're just on tracks. They go upstairs. They're just amazing. But they're like $150,000 or something like each. Yeah. That's awesome. But like,
you got to justify it too. You got to have, that good amount of work. Like I don't know if it has to be every week, but it definitely has to be very consistent of like how much you're using that to look at the cost and benefit of it. Because I mean, usually it's about $750.
Yeah, rentals depending on delivery and all that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I just switched out a light in my closet in my bedroom. It had a bulb burnt out in it for like 2 years because it was 2 bulbs and I only had 1 bulb. I'm like, I don't need to change it. So if I can even do that maintenance, I don't need $150,000 piece of equipment. If I can't even change a light bulb. I'm just saying, I know what I am. And if you rent it, then at least you're dealing with somebody else having to do the maintenance. So
yes, exactly.
But that would be super dope.
Yeah, that would be dope. That'd be phenomenal. But I know that like a couple times I've broken things on those, and that has made me the most scared I've ever been. Because I'm like, oh man, this is super expensive. Like, just patch this back and get out of there.
Have you had to do the like where everything leaves and you have to have it pumped back down? Have you ever had that happen up in the lift?
I've had it. I've had the power. I've had an electric articulating boom lift. I was up like 45 feet and the power went out, and everybody else was nowhere near me that could like help me plug it in. So I was just like, and when you're working, sometimes people don't care about their phone or anything. So I was frantically making phone calls, just like, please get me down or charge it. So they just charged it for a little bit and then lowered myself down. But that's the worst of it.
So I was on a 65, maybe I can't remember, but I was on a 4-story condo, and I had to overreach like this like hill. It was like you had to be on this parkway kind of, but it was a ways out, so it was like way overreach. And I had this thing almost fully extended, and you know how there's that kind of dig dig dig, you know how
Mhm.
there's like all the little sections. I went and my hand slipped off or something happened with the thing, and I let it off really fast and dug, 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 and I hit the building like, and I didn't hit the window, but I hit the building and it like chunked up a big piece of it. But I'm like 4 stories up, and it like bent the one arm into the or the the cage thing that's around there, like the one bar on there. I'm like, oh my god. And I
Oh
did it,
no.
and like nothing happened with it because they're painters and guys that do that all the time anyway. They didn't care,
Oh, yeah.
but I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been really bad. Could you imagine just smashing a 4-story window? Like,
Oh man, that would be huge like that. But it is funny. Like every time you get in one of those, if it's like super clean, you're like, oh, this is super brand new. Like there's no way it looks like that. You get a 1 year old one, you can't even see the controls. There's
no.
paint and caulking all over it. There's just
How is that even a thing? I always wanted to know, like, how dirty are caulking people that
it's
it's like
horrible, I
covered,
guess.
covered. Well, I'm not a painter, but apparently you don't get a lot of paint on the surface. You just paint
Yeah,
the boom,
you
apparently.
paint
But
everything around it.
anyway, I would love to know from you guys if you're watching. Go ahead and comment in anything that you're watching. Tell me what your favorite tool would be, like your dream setup, what it would be. I'd love to know. If you haven't done it yet, go to Steve-O, the Window Cleaners YouTube channel, of course, and follow him because he is so close to a
So close.
milestone. The only window cleaning person to ever hit 30,000 subscribers is Steve-O, the Window Cleaner.
It'd be pretty sweet to
That's
do
pretty
it.
impressive.
I want to get to 100,000 and get the plaque, but I think the only way to do that is to be a complete sellout and just start making horrible guru videos.
I thought you were going to say take your pants off, but yeah, that works too. I mean, I
Hey,
don't want to.
that's a whole different second.
I may hit it before you. I don't want to brag, but I think I'm up to like 161 subscribers. So
Oh man, I got to work harder.
just saying, bring your A game, buddy.
I
Bring your
will.
A game. No, but if you haven't done it, and do subscribe to him. If you do subscribe, make sure to be there on Monday at 7:30 East Coast. We're going to be doing our live, which if you haven't done, it is literally an hour of just talking with us and hanging out. And that sounded like it was toting our own horn, but that wasn't it. If you just want to hang out, that's really what it is. Hang out, ask questions, talk, give us crap, whatever, it doesn't matter. So be there for that. If you didn't know, we do this every day too at 2:00. So tomorrow be here. Again, 2:00 we'll be on. Hopefully have Alex if he decides to be around and not stand me up. Otherwise, maybe Steve will be back. You never know.
Yes.
But either way, definitely talk to us. And if anybody wants to order anything, tell them how they can get a hold of you.
You can call or text me at 970-599-1437. I look like I may be frozen here, but maybe I'm not. But that's my phone number. So it's just me as a ghost talking to you. I look angry.
I know. He's so perturbed. I thought I was just not being funny anymore. I'm like, okay. Anyway, go ahead. Give Steve a call. He may be frozen here, but he is real and thought in real life. So give him a call. Let him be your rep. And yeah, we'll talk again tomorrow. So I definitely appreciate it.